Super Mario Bros. Most of you are probably familiar with the original NES game through this Super Mario Bros. 30th Anniversary commemorative amiibo that can occasionally be seen in the background of my webcam footage, but believe it or not, for the past 3.5 decades, this game has become a bit of a cultural phenomena, even outside of my bookshelf. Fun fact, we aren't exactly sure when the game was actually released in North America, with some sources claiming it was released as a launch title for the NES in October 1985, while conflicting sources claim it was released as late as 1986, which I think is interesting. There are very few games that can claim to be as saturated into our culture as Super Mario Bros. There are literally countless remakes, fan games, and nostalgic callbacks in modern Nintendo games, as well as so much merch. I myself have a pretty storied history with the game. Pretty much every Mario game I've covered so far has been on a long list of firsts, and the NES game is no exception. Super Mario Bros. Was the first game I ever bought through digital distribution on the Wii Shop channel, as well as the first game I played that really occurred to me to be retro. In fact, it somewhat marked my transition to viewing gaming as a full-time hobby and interest rather than something I just did occasionally when I felt like it. I played the game on and off from there, often lugging my Wii around to take turns playing with other people, and I had a pretty great time, but I never actually beat it. Keep in mind that for most of my life, really only up until a few years ago, the concept of actually finishing games never really occurred to me. I played games mostly just to play them, with very little thought put into making tangible progress. When the magic of beating games finally revealed itself to me, "Are you seeing this?" One of the first games I took an interest in playing was Super Mario Bros. I mean, everybody needs to complete Super Mario Bros. At least once in their life, right? So I took to Twitch. That's actually how my first Twitch stream started, me and my horrible equipment trying to beat Super Mario Bros. I think I did about 3 separate streams and never managed to finish. Understandably so, at the time I didn't have a capture card that could display on stream and on a separate display, so I was forced to play on the Wii U gamepad. I didn't actually beat Super Mario Bros. Until quite a while later when I decided to buckle down and spend an entire night playing nothing but Mario. I've wanted to cover this game for a while now, primarily so I could cover the later NES and SNES games, but at the same time it was also a game I wanted to keep under my belt for a rainy day. Well, we're now about a week and a half into the never-ending Minecraft playthrough with no signs of slowing down, and the Summer Splash event in Fortnite is hogging all of the time it can manage to pry away from Minecraft, so this week seems like a prime time. Let's take a look at Super Mario Bros. I would like to establish straight away how difficult it's going to be to talk about this game, for one simple reason: its legacy. Pretty much every idea Nintendo had for this game was original. There was virtually no framework for them to build off of in development. The innovation of this game cannot be understated. However, that's not the conversation I'm here to have. I'm here to discuss the entertainment value this game holds completely removed from the circumstances of its development and release. This isn't how I prefer to cover games. I would much rather be able to talk about the landscape in its entirety as I do for pretty much any other game. But when you discuss something with a legacy as big as Super Mario Bros., it's almost impossible to talk about anything but its legacy, which is why I feel like we need to completely separate it as a point of concern if we want to get anything done. Super Mario Bros. Is a game about pudgy Italian plumber Mario Jumpman Mario and his platforming journey to rescue Princess Toadstool. Along the way, you'll encounter many of the Mario enemies you've become accustomed with, such as Goombas, Koopas, Bullet Bills, frickin' Hammer Bros, etc. The game consists of a grand total of 8 worlds with 4 levels each, for a grand total of 32 levels, but as pretty much anybody knows, with the help of warp pipes, that can be cut down to 8, making it a rather short experience. While Super Mario Bros. May be presented in a way that likens it more to modern platforms, I think it's important to remember just how much arcade gaming was still an influence on the console games at the time. Super Mario Bros. Arcade roots shines through best in its difficulty design. This game does not hold your hand. You have 3 lives, 0 continues, and it will not hesitate to kick you back to the title screen. Super Mario Bros. Relies almost entirely on loss of progress as punishment in its difficulty design, which, as some of you may know, is my least favorite form of punishment. Why? Because loss of progress will almost always frustrate the player and often goes as far as to breed resentment against the game designers. In the case of Super Mario Bros., you might be forced to play the entire game several times over because you've gotten stuck on a particularly difficult jump, which is only accentuated by the fact that the game's short length opens up its levels to luck. By making it extremely difficult for players to try the part they're having trouble with over and over again within a reasonable time frame, they make it much harder to master certain levels. In most cases, it takes less time to just get lucky and move on than it does to actually overcome any challenge on your own. But at the same time, the constant loss of progress means you'll probably have to end up doing that level again anyway. So somehow you can end up finding yourself stuck on a level, and the level before it, and the level after it at the same time. And of course, the game's level design is set up in a way that highly favors trial and error and mastery/memorization of level design, exactly what you would hope not to see in a game that's set up like this. To a lot of people in the Super Mario Bros. Community, I might sound whinier, like I just need to get good, but what you need to remember is just because a game has tight, consistent controls and can be completely and totally mastered by high-level players, does not mean that it will provide a good casual experience. What you also need to remember is that the hardcore experience and the casual experience of a game are often completely different, and that just because a game has a hardcore community, that does not mean that the casual experience is invalid. And, you know, at the end of the day, Super Mario Bros. Isn't even that hard. I managed to complete the main quest, the second quest, which is just the main quest but slightly harder, and the main quest a third time on my CRT in like an hour and a half. You should play Super Mario Bros. You should play it if you want to experience the beginnings of the Mario franchise. You should play it if you want to play the birth of the modern platformer. You should even play it if you're like me and think it's embarrassing to have not. But if you're looking for a good quality platformer to just have a fun time with, you might have better luck looking somewhere else. Super Mario Bros. Is probably one of the most accessible games to play in the world nowadays. It's free on the Nintendo Switch and of course some other less official places. This plus modern convenience, such as rewind and save states, makes it a lot easier to experience this game as what it is, a piece of history. You should play Super Mario Bros. Just know what you're getting yourself into. I did this recording session 2 days before the 4th of July for this very reason, and yet somehow I am still being interrupted by fireworks. I hope this video didn't come off as overly hateful. If I had have prefaced and ended every comment with how much respect I have for the game and its community, we would have been here all day. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like the video, comment down below, what do you think about Super Mario Bros? Let me know. And of course subscribe to see more. If you want to follow me on social media or join my Discord, all of that can be found down below as always. And I guess that's about all I've got for you. Thanks for watching.